Right, we're live. Hi guys, welcome back to WD18, the Watford fan channel, for our first match preview of the Premier League season. Obviously on the eve of our first Premier League match against Brighton for the second time in 2 years. Obviously we played them on the first game of the season, last year and the year before. Well, not the year before that, last year. And obviously the year before that, Miguel Brittles decided to break Anthony Knockhart's legs. But we won't talk about too much about that one. Last year, obviously a 2-0 win at home against Brighton with Roberto Pereira with both goals. Will he be playing this time round? Wait and see for our predicted lineup. So we'll get onto that very, very shortly. I'm doing the match preview today. Shane can't do it, unfortunately, but I'm sure throughout the season, Shane will be doing most of the match previews because you guys seem to absolutely love Shane's match previews. But great to see you all here. Who we've got in the comments, Jacob, you legend, thank you so much. Nice to see you back, Stuart. Great to see you, mate. Hopefully you come along for a fan cam. Shane is my dad. But yeah, great to see all you guys. It's been a while. It feels like a while since I've been doing some of these videos, and I thought I'd do a live match preview looking ahead to tomorrow's game against Brighton and Hove Albion. Before we get into the match preview, let's take a little look at our transfer business. And I mean, yesterday was an unbelievable day to be a Watford fan. A reported £40 million fee for a club record deal for Ismaila Sarr from Rennes. He secured a move to Watford from Rennes. Ismaila Sarr has come in, a massive, massive deal for Watford. A club record fee, almost double, double, if not more, than what we paid for Andre Gray. 2.5 times, I think, what we paid for Andre Gray. 18 million price tag. We also brought in Danny Welbeck on a free, which is a surprise one, but had been in the pipeline for a while, according to a lot of sources. We brought in Craig Dawson from West Brom, who I think will be starting tomorrow. And we also brought in Tom Deli Bashiru as a free agent, who was previously at Manchester City on a 6-year deal. 2 major outs, Dolly Luke Bacchio to Hertha Berlin for £18 million, and also Ben Wilmot, who went on loan to Swansea City on loan for the rest of the season. Let me know down the live chat what you made of Watford's transfer window. Shane did a video doing a little recap for deadline day, so make sure you do give that a watch. But let me know down in the comment section, what would you rate Watford's transfer window out of 10? Personally, I think potentially we could have maybe brought in one more defender. And there's still time to get rid of players, potentially, if we wanted to release them. I'd probably rate Watford's transfer window, now Ismaila Sarr's come, I'd give it a 9, really. And I think maybe a couple of outs, the likes of the Deadwood, the Marvin Zieglers, the Stefano Akakas, if they had gone, maybe it would have bumped up a little bit. But I don't think you can really complain. We've addressed the centre-back issue, we've brought in a star signing in Ismaila Sarr, and we've brought in Danny Welbeck, someone who's got a lot of experience, as Troy has said, has got a great CV, and of course he's been injury-prone, but it'd be great to see his career kind of restart at Watford, and we'll have to wait and see. But that seems like a really good signing as well. Anyway, enough about the transfer business. Let's get straight into the match preview. Team news to start off with. Big news coming out that Gerald Deulofeu will be fit for tomorrow's game, and I will expect to see him start up front next to Troy. Roberto Pereira can play, but with his involvement in the Copa America, Javi's very careful managing him. He's gone to say he's ready, but he just needs time because this is his only second week of pre-season. He's not in the best physical condition, but he can still help the team by playing some minutes. So I'd expect to see Roberto Pereira on the bench tomorrow. Unavailable are Nathaniel Chalobah, Peñaranda, Keena and Dimitri Foulquier, who was returned from his loan last season. And we also, our new signing, as I mentioned, Danny Welbeck. He will play no part tomorrow. His fitness, he hasn't had a full pre-season. And he's been carefully managed by the medical team, and that's the right thing to do. There's no point rushing Danny Welbeck in, even to go onto the bench, for him to then pick up an injury and then he's out for a long period of time. Let's manage him back in. He hasn't played a lot of football recently, and he hasn't had a full pre-season. I think that's really understandable. Still waiting confirmation regarding Ismaila Sarr. From what I understand, he won't be featuring tomorrow. I think the deadline for someone new to play on Saturday would be on the Thursday, and I think that's another reason why Danny Welbeck could have played, but that's why the club confirmed that he can't. Ismaila Sarr, I don't think he joined in time enough for him to actually feature on Saturday. That's why it hasn't been confirmed, but that's what I understand. But yeah, anyway, let's get on to the predicted lineup. This is what you guys want to see. I'll shuffle over to the left-hand side. And as you can see, my lineup is on the right. So we're going to start in goal. We're going to go for Ben Foster. Obviously, Aurelio Gomez has stayed with us, even though he was 99% sure last season that he was going to move on. It's Ben Foster in between the sticks for me, and I think there's no arguments about that one. My back four, I've gone for Kiko at right back. He's looked very bright in pre-season, and I think particularly if I think Hughes is going to start on the right, those two complement each other pretty well. We need Kiko's pace down the right-hand side. So Kiko Feminine on the right. New signing Craig Dawson will partner Craig Cathcart. This is my predicted lineup. I think Real Sociedad game, we saw Dawson, the two Craigs, Cathcart and Dawson. There was a couple of times we did get split open, particularly in the second half. There was a moment we were very, very vulnerable and susceptible to the Real Sociedad counter-attack. But I feel like Craig Cathcart and Craig Dawson, if they build that partnership, I feel they are two best centre-backs. And I think Craig Dawson is definitely an upgrade on what we had before. He looked solid in the Sociedad game. I didn't go to the QPR game. From what I've seen so far, Craig Dawson, very, very good in the air. An aerial threat, especially at corners as well, going forward. And just looks like a very shrewd, solid signing, particularly for £5.5 million. Left back, only one man for it. It's Jose Holebas. And I know a few of you would have seen that Danny Rose was linked with a £40 million move to Watford. Two bids rejected by Tottenham for Danny Rose from Watford, which was a surprise. I didn't really expect that. I think it was an audacious signing. Danny Rose was even at the training ground. It seemed like he wanted the move. He wanted to move back to Watford. He obviously had gone on loan to Watford in 2009. It didn't have a very good loan spell, but maybe he wanted a new challenge. He saw the project that Danny Welbeck did, an English player, and thought, you know what, we've got a good group of players in, we could build on it. Whether we go back in for Danny Rose in January, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm more than happy with Jose Holebas at the moment. 35 years of age, he's not getting any younger, as Shane has said, but he's a player who's aged well, particularly like Aurelio Gomez. We've also got Adam Messina, who provides good enough backup for now. So my back five would be Foster, Feminier, Dawson, Cathcart and Holebas. That's the back five that I think Javi will put out tomorrow. Now, for my four in midfield, I've gone for Will Hughes on the right. Now, I think I'd expect to see Ismail Assar take up that position when he's fully fit. Fully fit, ready to go, whatever, when he's match ready, basically. And I think he is ready to go. But again, signing him yesterday, it probably wasn't enough time for Javi to chuck him in the deep end. And Hughes has been playing on the right. So I'd go for Hughes on the right. And from what I've been gathering with Javi in his press conferences, what he's been talking about with Roberto Pereira regarding his injury situation, his fitness situation, I'm going to go for Ken Sema on the left-hand side, similar to the Sociedad game. Now, I know a lot of people aren't a massive fan of Ken, but he does put in a lot of work down the left-hand side. He's not the best technically, very good physically, and he's quick. So hopefully he can do a job on the left-hand side. But I guess Roberto Pereira being on the bench will provide us with a bit of another option if we need it. Two in midfield, no doubt about it. Etienne Capoue and Abdoulaye Doucouré. Two of our best players. We've managed to keep hold of Doucouré, which almost feels like a new signing. To reject two bids from Everton, first £32 million, the second £40 million we're in the region of. Doucouré is a massive, massive boost to have him for another season. He's going into what is not his his fourth season at Watford anyway, playing 3.5 seasons he's now played. 2.5, he's going into his third and a half season. And I think Doucouré, he's a massive, massive boost for Watford alongside Etienne Capoue. And we saw how crucial they were last season in our FA Cup run, in us reaching 7th for the majority of the season. Obviously, we did dip off that. And obviously, Etienne Capoue, our player of the season. So that's the two in midfield I think Javi's going to go for. And then going up front, Deulofeu, I think, is definitely going to start, just judging from what Javi was saying in his press conference. And obviously the main man, the skipper, Troy Deeney, to partner him up front. Now, maybe some of you might be thinking Javi will go for Andre Gray. I think Gray's more of an impact sub, and I think Javi sees him as more of an impact sub. And I think Gerard Deulofeu has to go straight back in. He's a better striker for me than Andre Gray, and I think Andre Gray is better off the bench. We saw that in the Premier League, particularly towards the back end of last season when he came off the bench against Everton, when he came off the bench against Leicester as well. He makes an impact, and I think he'll go for Deeney and Deulofeu up front tomorrow. Let me know down in the comment section below who you think. Any disagreements with that? I'd love to know. Let me go down in the live chat. Let me just quickly check that, by the way. Yeah. Seems like you guys are kind of agreeing. Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that one. Right, going into an Oppo preview. We've got Brighton, who are coming to Vicarage Road tomorrow. Obviously, same opening day game last season, and we obviously won 2-0. That was under Chris Hughton. A new manager this time, a new head coach. That's Graham Potter, who joined Brighton from Swansea last season. Did pretty well with Swansea, actually, and he played some attractive style of football. Now, that's going to be difficult to implement, I think, potentially. Championship style of play to a Premier League side. And I think Brighton will struggle. That's just my opinion. Having said that, though, he's a very, very good manager. He did very well at Ostersund's and obviously nurtured a young Ken Sema. And obviously a big result did very well against Arsenal at Ostersund's. Got his gig at Swansea. And now Brighton have given him a chance in the Premier League. And it'll be interesting to see how they fare. But they've spent big in the transfer market. Adam Webster from Bristol City for £20 million. We were linked with him earlier on in the window. We've got Leandro Trossard from Genk for £20 million. Neil Maupay, the striker from Brentford, for £20 million. And a really good signing, I thought, yesterday on deadline day, Aaron Moy on loan from Huddersfield. He signed a 3-year deal at Huddersfield, and then they've sent him out on loan to Brighton. And another player Watford were linked with. So, interesting to see they've gone for a couple of our targets in Adam Webster and Aaron Moy, but I think they're definitely good additions for Brighton. And I'm sure we'll upgrade their team. According to the club website, they could all make their first full-team Brighton debuts tomorrow. But they have confirmed that Izquierdo, Basuma and the right-back Charlotto won't play. They're all unavailable. Not sure what formation Brighton will play tomorrow. They've been kind of experimenting with a few formations. I think 3-4-3 could definitely be a possibility. Quite an attacking formation as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up. That's been something that talked about in the Brighton fan base, what formation they will play come tomorrow. But I don't think we can take Brighton lightly. I really don't think so. They've got some good additions. I am a big fan of Brighton. Obviously, they managed to keep hold of Lewis Dunk from interest from Leicester. They were willing to pay around £40 million for him. And then you've got Glenn Murray as well. And I know Glenn Murray gets a lot of stick, but he scores goals and he scores big goals as well. They've got the likes of Pascal Gross, who's a very, very good player. Got the likes of Solly March as well. And they've got two big centre-backs, as I said, in Lewis Duncan and Shane Duffy. So I like the look of Brighton's team. I don't know whether Graham Potter will do well at Brighton. I really don't know. It's going to be tough. But just looking at their summer business, they've spent big. And he's got a lot of pressure on him to deliver with that backing. And they obviously see something in Potter, but we'll have to wait and see. Tomorrow, big game. First game of the Premier League season. Cannot wait to get back to Vicarage Road. And I think the feel-good factor's back. Obviously, our transfer business, we'll get to see club record man Ismaila Sarr in a Watford shirt. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think we will. I don't think Javi will chuck him in there. I think that's the team that I think Javi will put out. Very similar to the Real Sociedad team, actually, apart from Andre Gray, I think, is the one player that I've taken out. But it was great to see Gerard Deulofeu fit. Hopefully we can see Roberto Pereira as well, who I thought would be leaving in the summer, but he hasn't. It's no form goes out the window for the first game of the Premier League season, but all I know from a Watford perspective is the fans are buzzing, the players buzzing, Javi's buzzing, and even Scott Duxbury's put a message out on the club website today, is absolutely buzzing for the new season. And I'm, again, one of those people who's buzzing for the new season. I cannot wait. It'll be great to see you all at Vicarage Road tomorrow. Make sure, if you do want to come over for a fan cam, you do. We'll be by the Graham Taylor statue. It'll be great to see all of you there. Get your thoughts after the opening day of the season. Win, lose or draw. It'd be great to see you. Make sure you do check out Shane's opinion on our deadline day business. Obviously, we signed Ismaila Sarr for a club record fee. Also, we've got a couple of bids rejected for Danny Rose. And check all our content across the weekend. Thank you so much for watching the match preview. Make sure you do follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. You got us covered, and look out for the content over the weekend. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.